Hello lovely Flosstube friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren, also known as Cross Stitch Bunny here on YouTube and over on Instagram. It's lovely to be back today to talk to you all and show you what I've been up to. I did hesitate as to whether to film today because for a mid-month update, this is quite late. We are now on the 20th of June. Tomorrow is officially going to be the start of summer. I can't believe it. We've been having glorious hot sunshine here where I am in Worcestershire. The temperatures have been really hot by my standards. I think some days we've registered like 31.5 on our thermometer. Like that's kind of what the temperature has been at my house. And that is a big reason why I've not got too much to show you. I have done a lot less stitching than I typically would have done by this point in the month, but I thought small progress is still progress nonetheless, so I am still going to film. And so here we are. I've got 3 projects to share with you. Like I said, I've not done huge amounts of progress. Usually by like the middle of the month, like around the 14th, 15th, which is when I usually film these mid-month updates, I would probably have 30 or even more than 30 hours stitching to show you. That is not the case today, but I have had a nice new start. I've pulled out a very old whip that you will have not seen here on my Flosstube for quite some time. And I've worked on a beachy whip as well. So I will show you what I've got, and perhaps unsurprisingly, we will start with this lovely lady, Tart from Gecko Rouge. So in my last Flosstube, which I think was Flosstube 35, yeah, this is Flosstube 36. So in Flosstube 35, I did show her as my haul for the month. She was the only purchase that I had made, and I just think she's absolutely beautiful, and I have made a start on her. I actually started her the evening after I had filmed my last Flosstube. I'm using her as my letters of the month piece, and my goal was in total 4,000 stitches, obviously with me starting her from scratch. So I was starting at 0, and the fact that she's on Pattern Keeper, it's really easy for me to track my progress in stitches. And here it is. So let me just get my board here. Here is my start. So I did decide to have a center start. So I started sort of around here on the pink bit. This is like roughly the center. And then I was enjoying the pinks, but the green background on this, which is very large, I did not want to just concentrate on doing all of the fun bits, i.e. the lady herself, and leave myself with loads of green background. So I sort of moved across to get to a bit of that green background and made a start on that. So in total, this is 2,411 stitches. I think, if I've remembered that correctly. I did check it just before I turned the camera on. So I think that is where we're at, and that is 3.42%. So I don't think that is a bad start at all, is it? Starting from scratch, and ooh, you can't see me, but yeah, I think that is a good amount of stitches that I've put into her. I do still want to get to 4,000 stitches on this, and we are only on the 20th of June. So I do have some time, like that might be doable, and I really would like to get there because, as I mentioned in my last episode, I do have a habit of starting things like SALs or cross-stitching games like whip go and things, and then I like fall off track and I don't actually finish them or complete them, sort of thing. With the letters of the month, I have stuck to it, and it would be a shame to fail in the last month I'm doing it because June is my last month. So yeah, there's not too many stitches to put in that until I reach 4,000. I think she will be my focus now for the rest of this month. Like what remains of June, I'm going to focus on her, see if I can hit that 4,000 goal before I then work on anything else. That is hopefully the plan. Get my 4,000 done so that letters of the month is a big tick and I can pat myself on the back and feel really good that I finished it, and then I'll move on to stitching other things again. So yes, that is very much staying my focus piece for the rest of the month. I have 2 other things to show you. So My self-imposed theme for the month of June was beside the seaside. So I thought I would pull this out. It's not been that long since you've seen this. I've been working on this fairly recently. This is the In All Tides piece from Cross Stitcher magazine. I will pop the finished article up on the screen for you so that you can see. And actually, in the new release of Cross Stitcher magazine that it just came out a few days ago, I think, I got a notification on my email because I'm an online subscriber via Readly. I did get a notification that it was there, and I did have a quick flick through the magazine, and somebody has completed this and sent in an image of it. So that was nice to see, like somebody had submitted their completed version to the magazine. And I've also seen it pop up a few times on Instagram recently, which I think I mentioned in my last episode too. But anyway, yes, this is In All Tides. This is where I am at. And this is where I was last time you saw it. So I think the main difference, obviously I've done some stitching, but I have also started on the beads, which hopefully, if I zoom in a little bit, you can see. So I've started putting on all these lovely beads, and I've done another bird. Love the little birds on this. Yeah, so I'm really happy with how this one's going, and it's been nice to start the beading. I figured that with this design, because I'm doing it on 18 count Rustico's Zweigart fabric, this like sandy colour, because it will not need to be moved out of this Q-snap, like the entire design fits in this frame without moving it. I thought there's no harm in me starting the beading because I'm not going to be in danger of crushing it or having to move my Q-snap over the top of it. So yeah, I've just started to add these beads in, which I think give like some lovely texture to the waves. There's quite a few here as well. And I've started doing some more writing here. So yeah, this is coming along nicely. I'm really pleased with how this one's looking and how it's going. And I have just remembered that I didn't tell you what I was stitching my Gecko Rouge on. So we're just going to rewind a bit. So that one's being stitched on 18 count Zweigart Rustico. And my Gecko Rouge was, of course, a kit. I am stitching this on 18 count also. So this is just plain white 18 count Ada that came with the kit. And I'm using all the kit threads that came with that. My mind has gone blank as to what threads I'm using for this one, but I think it's DMC. I think all of this is DMC, except maybe 1 or 2 Royal Broidery substitutes, possibly if I was short on a colour. But yeah, I think this is mostly being done in DMC. Very, very happy with that one. I would have liked to finish this one for summer, and there's not for the beginning of summer, obviously, which is tomorrow, but I would like to finish this one this summer. And I'm more than halfway through now, I think. So hopefully that is doable. There's not like a huge amount of stitches in here. I've just been stitching really slowly and less frequently over the last month, so everything seems to be taking me a really long time. I did decide to pull out a really old whip. So that is the third and final project that I will be showing you today. This is going to be such a short episode compared to usual. So hopefully this will be familiar to many of you, although you will have not seen it on my channel for a little while. It is very crumpled. I've moved the frames around a lot on this. And this is my Bothy Threads Dictionary of Tea Progress. So I will pop up a picture of what this will look like completed. These series of patterns by Bothy, they do like the teapots. There was Dictionary of, my mind's gone blank. There was like dogs, cats, coffee, tea, robins even, like a Christmassy themed one. Loads of things in this kind of style where you've got 9. There will be 9 squares, as you can see, with like a banner over the top. I'm not going to pop up a where I was last time picture because it's very easy to tell you where I was last time, which is that I had finished the 5 teapots that you can see that are already complete here. So I'd done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was where I was at. I hadn't made any start on the 6th one, and I had not done any of the banner there. So all my progress is at the top here. So ignore the yellow Calamity teapot. and everything else is what I've done. So all of this background here, which is stitched in 1 strand, and then all of the teapot that will be here stitched in 2 strands. And then up here, I've made a start on doing like this third of the banner that sits over this column of teapots, and the banner will extend like all the way over here, because I've still got an entire row of the last 3 pots to do once this one's finished. And yeah, there wasn't like a particular reason that I pulled this one out. I was just rummaging through my whip box, like just looking at what I had, and I thought like I want to pull out something old, like oldish, that I've not worked on for a good long while. I came across this one and thought that would be perfect. It's such a fun design, the colours are lovely. I self-kitted this because by the time I came around to wanting to stitch it and I tried to go and purchase the kits were no longer available for this design, but Bothy had released these charts as PDF downloads just through their website. So that is what I did. I downloaded it from the website just as a PDF pattern. And obviously, like if you buy a Bothy kit, they don't tell you in the kit what the colour codes are for the threads, but when you buy like a pattern that they are no longer selling as a kit and they're just selling it as a PDF, obviously they do give you the thread codes. So I have kitted this up all in DMC, and I'm not exactly sure when I started this, but I think it may have been 2021, possibly early 2022, but I'm thinking that this was a 2021 start. I won't know without checking, which I'm not going to do right now, but I'm fairly certain that this has been hanging around my whip pile for a very long time, and it is being stitched on 14 count, yeah, 14 count white Ada, nothing fancy. I didn't really see the point in using anything else for it because all the background stitching is done behind each teapot. There's not a lot of white space on this, like there's not a lot of space, so if I'd used a different coloured fabric, you wouldn't really have seen much of it. So that is that. So yes, short and sweet for today. I think that is definitely all the stitching stuff done with. Like I said, no haul today. I've not done any shopping. I've been pretty good, other than buying like 3 threads that you don't need to see because they're not too exciting. What have I been up to in June that's not Stitchy related? Because quite clearly I've not been doing much stitching. Well, we have had Daisy's birthday party. She had a lovely pony party with herself, her brother, and 18 friends from school. It was chaos, like having 20 kids running around the stable yard, but the girls like at the stable yard organised it amazingly. It was really good. They had a fabulous time. Pop up a few pictures of Daisy and Hadley. I'm not obviously going to put a group photo up with all the other children, but yeah, they had a lovely time riding lots of different ponies. Like Daisy was overjoyed. We had glorious weather for it, and then a thunderstorm hit at 8 p.m. The evening of the party, so like after the party was all done with, because we finished at about 2 o'clock. So that was a massive relief that the weather held out and didn't rain on us that morning. I had been obsessively checking the forecast because I knew that there were some thunderstorms due, and I'm glad that they held off so that we could have a lovely party, because obviously it was all outdoors, so it was a bit nerve-wracking when all the weather forecasts started changing to bad weather. So that was good. I have been having quite a few evenings where I've not been doing any stitching at all, really. Like I said, partly because it's just too hot, but also Adam and I have like been watching quite a few films and stuff where I've actually been interested enough in the film and wanting to watch it that I wanted to give it my full attention. So like we never went and saw the new Avatar movie when it was in cinemas, but we noticed it popped onto our Disney Plus. So we watched that. It actually took us 2 nights to watch that. By the time we got the kids to bed and then actually started watching it, and then it was such a long film. I think we watched half one night, half the second night. So those 2 nights I didn't do any stitching at all. And there's been a few other films that have been really good. Can't remember now, but that we've just watched, and I've just sat with Adam and just enjoyed watching them together instead of me watching from behind my cross stitching. I've also been playing quite a bit of Pokemon, which for those of you in my same age bracket perhaps is something that you enjoyed playing as a child. Like, I never grew out of it. I think the first Pokemon game came out, was it 1996? I think. So I was like 7 or 8 years old when that was released, and I remember my dad buying it for me, and I was hooked from the first game. And yes, I have been playing a little bit of that. I have not picked up my games console for absolutely ages, and then I started playing on it a little bit when I was in Spain, because when I took the stitching out of my bag to leave at home on my trip to Spain last month, I put the games console, my Switch, in my bag and thought, you know what, I've literally not played on this for a good couple of years, I'm going to take it with me. So yes, I've been mixing up my evenings with films that I've actually been concentrating on, Pokemon playing, and then a little bit of stitching on some nights. But with the weather, I've just wanted to sit and eat ice lollies and not have to concentrate. And obviously stitching requires a lot more concentration than just watching something or playing something. I'm hoping that this weather's going to dampen down now a bit, she says, when it's officially summer starting tomorrow. But we have had rain here this morning, and it has really helped to cool everything down. So I think tonight I am going to try and do a bit of stitching tonight. I would be pleased if I manage a full hour, because over the last few weeks that has been, not something that's happened often. I've been maybe doing half an hour and just putting it away. So if I can get a good hour in tonight, I'll be pleased. I'm just going to work towards my goal on Shock Tart, and I will see you guys with a giveaway next time. There will be the giveaway. I have not forgotten. I didn't know whether I would do it in this episode or the next one, but it's looking like it's going to be the next one. So yeah, I hope that this episode has been enjoyable. I know it was very short, it was lacking in stitching, but like I said at the beginning, small progress is still progress. And I think that, like a lot of Flosstubers, to an extent, like we can pressure ourselves, or sometimes I pressure myself to make sure you've got enough to show people. And on the one hand, it does spur me on to like really do my stitching, but sometimes it can be like a detriment to other things that you enjoy, because I'll be thinking, oh well, I would like to go and do something else, but then I won't have any stitching to show people. So sometimes like stitching will always win, because I feel like I need enough to share with you guys. And I think I just need to accept that sometimes if I have like a slower month or a slower few weeks, like I still have something to show you. It might not be as much as usual, but I've done loads of other things that I've enjoyed that I've not done for a while as well. So that's lovely. Take care. I will see you hopefully at the end of the month. Might be a couple of days late into next month, depending on how I get on. But yes, I will see you sometime around the very beginning of July. I hope that you're managing with the heat where you are. I'm guessing that it's a lot hotter to a lot of potentially my US viewers. You're probably having much hotter weather than we are now, but hopefully you've got aircon and you're set up to deal with it, because I am melting. Take care. I will see you soon, and have a lovely couple of weeks, guys. Bye.